So my name is Chris McCann. I live right now in Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, and I started a company called Startup Digest. In November 2009, we sent one email to 22 people, and that was kind of the start of Startup Digest. And we saw it start to take off and get traction, and that's when we jumped in it full time. So basically I graduated, I got a job, I was doing some stuff on the side thing took off and jumped on the side thing full time. So Startup Digest, we cover events, jobs, and what to read in your industry in different cities. So you might be wondering, okay, how do you know what are the good events in Paris, for example? So we have basically the model that we created, we call it now the curator model. So we have a startup founder themselves in the city that they're living in. They're the ones that pick the best events or jobs or what to read, and then we do all the publishing. And in return, the email gets out in their name. So it's kind of like a vanity publishing, if you will, because I noticed when I was doing it in Silicon Valley that like angels and VCs and Stanford professors and a lot of people were just emailing me like, hey, you do this email newsletter, you must know what's going on in Silicon Valley, like I want to talk to you. So I realized that name recognition in that email was super, super important. In 2 points of our company, we almost went broke. One of them, it was really stupid, but we were invited to this thing for the Global Entrepreneurship Week, and it was in Dubai. And I was late for the cutoff date. It's through the Kauffman Foundation. So we went to the Kauffman Foundation in DC. They're like, hey, we're doing this conference. If you want to come, let me know. But it was too late to get reimbursed for the flight trip for them. A flight to Dubai was like $3,000. It was ridiculous. And at the time, like we had no money, and we were like, we need to like go there and like meet all these people. So like we're gonna spend $3,000 for me to go to Dubai. So I went there, I got to meet everybody, got to participate, got to sit there for 3 days, I even got to talk myself. And then now like Kauffman is basically one of our biggest supporters. They funded, we got all of our curators together for 1 week in Kansas City, they funded that. We're doing an event at South by Southwest, they're funded that. And they might even potentially fund like what we're doing as a company. So at the time it was stupid to spend $3,000 to go to this foreign place that I had no idea what was going to turn out. But in hindsight, it was probably one of the best decisions we made because we got to meet them kind of in a real setting. There's these two guys you might have heard of, like Steve Blank and this other guy, Mark Suster. And they both say like students that go up to them and say, hey, I'm thinking about working for a big company or a startup, what should I do? They said, you already made the decision, you're thinking about the big company, you should go work for them. You're obviously not an entrepreneur. I think people who are kind of entrepreneurs are just a little crazy and they kind of do something completely irrationally. My biggest advice is always just like whatever your like ideas or whatever you're thinking or something you're working with, launch as soon as possible and just kind of test it out. I say take the 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. work schedule. You know, even if you have a job is the greatest thing because you essentially have a safety net. You have a salary that you're getting paid every single week, and you don't have to worry about eating and sleeping and where you're going to live that week, whatever. You have some sort of a safety net behind you. So take advantage of that, try something, put it out there, you know, and see if that gets traction. And just try as much of things as you can and see if this is for you, because sometimes it's not for everybody. So see if it's really for you.